be Ben McCord in the sun, or be kind of on the ceiling and doing funny voices. Milligan was kind of, everywhere. Just like flying around. But Benty would sort of look after us. I think it was sort of making people like
he was kind of reasonably normal. I read his autobiography. He came across as reasonably normal.
He was a very, very nice man. He was a good guy. It's just that he would really gel. They had two conflicting styles. But yeah, I suppose it was quite. I think I got nothing else to compare it with. So, doesn't everybody get up at 5 in the morning and do cartwheels across the living room? It seemed a bit normal. I don't think we laughed a lot. We used to laugh a hell of a lot.
Have an infectious laugh. That's an unbelievable laugh. I've never heard anybody laugh like that.
His singing teacher, a man called Manlio Di, my singing teacher. He, when my dad was, my dad trained as an opera singer for rock music, and when he started doing the goons, Manlio would shake his So he said, if you are going to continue doing all this sort of daft stuff, pitch your voice up. So, and by doing that, it protects it. It's a vocal technique, so it's not too damage to vocal cords. Which is why he was always talking up there. Oh! So it was a kind of a protection for his singing voice, and I think that's one of the reasons why he developed such a high-pitched laugh, because he was up there! Yeah, I mean, it was doing the voice, actually getting the voice right for Goon Again was very tricky. Because doing an impression of someone you're very close to, you know very well, it's very, very difficult. So what I had to do was actually an impression of an impression. It was somebody, what was it? It was Spitting Image did a setup of my dad singing on the highway or something, singing a song. My impression of him was an impression of whoever it was who sang that song. Because if you listen to my father, he doesn't actually sound like that. And it is odd. It's like trying to do an impression of your brother or someone you know really well. It's very hard to do.
I noticed right at the end of the tape, after the show finished, to fill up space, they've obviously got some tryout stuff on there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost there, but it's obviously, let's try it out, let's record it, see how good or bad it is.
Dirk phoned me up and he said, do you want to come in and do some trials, sort of get the voice right? And I said, yeah, I'm not feeling very well. He said, it doesn't matter. I had the temperature of 102. My voice was going here, so. And he said, it's fine. Just come in, just read some scripts and we'll sort of go. He said, no one will ever hear it.
After it finishes, you stop laughing and there's a blank and suddenly these odd bits appear and I go, what?
Sorry, can we do that again?
I think it must be the best of the worst.
Oh, tell me, I mean, it sounds just flaccid scrotum.
Well, we've still got about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Any more questions? Or we start off?
Dark Ops. Well, I don't know much about Dark Ops. All I remember is that David Cool was an old mate from, I did rap in Lancaster. And David Calder was a very accomplished bongo player. And I used to play the drums. And so we used to have bongo evenings. We would get very drunk and play the bongos, as you do. And so he was an old friend from those days. And it was great fun. And I was really pissed off when we go to the second series. What's amazing is how so many people know about it. It's something that I did years ago. I sort of forgotten.
It was quite, because it was British, and it was actually very different. It was quite near future. I think it really...
Right, yes it was, yeah. Yeah, what I thought the one genius idea about it was Box.
Yeah.
That was brilliant, because that predated PCs, even I think Cyan, sort of big chunky thing you need a truck to carry around. That was wonderful, yeah. Box, book me a table in the so-and-so restaurant at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. It would do it. And my only real abiding memory of that is getting up very early one morning to do a scene by a reservoir. You may not see the reservoir in the shot, but I was for those who haven't seen it, I was Star Cops, briefly. It's about cops in space. And about this man, David Calder, who is like sort of chief cop. And he goes and sorts out trouble on satellites and space stations and stuff. And I was a kind of minor police officer in the force. And I was on the trail of this space villain. I don't know what he'd done and what it was about. But there was something to do with a dog. And I had to lay down by his reservoir, 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun had just come up, I was half asleep. And I was supposed to be asleep when this dog come up and nuzzle me, and I'd wake up and think, aha! And I had the answer to something. I mean, does this make sense to you? It doesn't to me. It was the fact that the dog, because people were walking their dogs at that time of the morning, it meant that so-and-so couldn't have...
It was the episode where his ex-wife was killed or something.
That's right, yes. Anyway, this is a very important plot point. And I had to be woken up by this dog. And this dog wasn't interested in me. I was laying there, and this dog, okay, action! Sit at the dog. Oh, no, just walk straight past. Cut! Okay, we'll try again. Can you make friends with the dog? Making friends with the dog in the morning. Giving it my bacon patty in the morning. And so we did this 5 or 6 times. And so this just wasn't working. So they smeared my face. First of all, they tried ice cream. And that didn't work. So then they went for the kill and they smeared my face with pedigree. See what power directors have over actors. Terrible. It was just hideous. We got the shot. Everyone was very happy and we went home. Let's give pedigree a chance. Oh, you smell strange.
So you don't miss the acting at all?
I do. No, I mean, I used to enjoy theatre a lot because I used to. Hello, you missed it, I'm afraid.
Doesn't matter.
I used to enjoy.
German subtlety.
I enjoy showing off. And filming, I quite, the limited amount of filming I do, I enjoy, because they treated you well. They treat you very well. They got loads of money, so you can get a nice, they give you a nice room. The food's nice, and people treat you like a human being. Television, especially the BBC, they tend to treat you like a commodity, and everyone kind of looks down. You walk on set, all camera cars kind of sort of chuckle. Here comes the camera from it. And you're not really sort of treated like a member of the human race. It's a bit strange. But if you can put up with that, you know, and the money can be good. But you know, film and theatre kind of work there. Theatre because you're. I like live performing live. Stand-up is kind of great, and it's kind of wing it. You're out there, you don't really know what's going to happen. You know, like the shows where people just haven't come on. They're supposed to. Oh look, here he comes. No, he doesn't. Coming up. You know, a funny thing happened to me. You know, I mean, it can be interesting. I want to do a show with, but you see, it can make you very. Another thing about acting and actors is that it can tend to make you a little self-centered. And a lot of actors, not all babies, but a lot of actors have a bit of an ego problem. I suffered from it in a sort of minor way. I was never a big like some people have an information there. But there's a bit of it in every actor. You know, when you're in the middle of a show, doing something, what's important is doing the show. Nothing else ever matters, except getting out there and being the actor. And I did a show with Beryl Reid once, and she was getting old and frail this time, and she had a quick change that she had to do. It was this kind of a review sketch show. It was diabolical. And she did a little sketch, and she had to come off, do a quick change, and then come back on again in the next thing. And I was in a sketch after her second sketch. It was just me, I think, all along. So I was backstage, I was getting changed. She finished her bit, she came on to do a quick change, and she tripped over a lamp backstage. And did I stoop and help to pick her up? No, I stepped over her. And I grabbed the stage manager, I said, should I go on then? So you know, that's where my brain was, and that kind of gave me pause. I thought, ooh, I've been in this business too long. That's kind of what it does to me, which is another thing I don't really like about it. It makes me terribly self-centered.
We have time for one more question. Alan?
Hey guys.
I don't know what's already been asked. Okay. I think I can guess, but the naming of your character F. Don Wizard would have been inspired by anyone, would it?
In Brighton and Hove, we have there used to be a high concentration of Elrons, followers of the late Mr. Howard. And they would, every time you went into Brighton, they would accost you on the street corner with a clipboard. I'm sorry, are there any Scientologists? Yes. Any Scientologists? No.
Which religion is he talking about?
It's the oh right, yes, okay. Well, whichever ones they were big L1 Hubbard fans, and they'd stop you on the street corner and say, you know, have you questioned your life? And the first time we think, oh, so I haven't got time to talk now, but you know, another day maybe. The 10th time it happened, he would just turn around and go, "Fuck off!" Bang! And they got on my nerves so much. I ended up, because he's not a bad writer. No one, but he's written some good stuff, and I was a kind of a mild fan of his. Not anymore. I just wanted to get back at, he's dead now, so the only way I can get back at him is by yes, is by playing around with his name. So that's why.
Okay. Well, it's almost 1 o'clock, so it's time to wrap up now. I think we've got an hour's break before the auction, if I remember rightly.
Yep.
Then again,
And quite a lot of copies of Bingo outside.
and
Lots of copies of Blue Card.
outside, who the author, I'm sure, will sign at the drop of a hat.
Certainly.
Just be a Terry Pratchett. So thank you very much,
I'll sign
Andy.
it, Terry.